Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown, and in today's video, we are going to be going over the opening night lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It seemed like the summer was kind of just consumed by contract talks and other debacles and shenaniganery stuff, but we're not going to get into those things today because when you're watching this video, it will be one more sleep until hockey. So I'm going to go through the lines one by one, and to make sure that I'm not spoiling the next one as I'm talking about one of them, I'm going to have a little bit of help from Brad. And these are the lines that are going to recreate this picture come the end of the season. Hopefully, anyway, or maybe I'm just being too dramatic. But Andreas Johnsson, Austin Matthews, and William Nylander playing together, yes, please. Now, I know William Nylander, he needs to put the puck more in the 6x4 target. He needs to be setting up more chances that lead to goals, but I have confidence in him. Guys, at least give him until Christmas to show you that last year was just a one-off. And Andreas Johnsson in that line, I heard a little bit of interesting information, what he did to get better over the off season from a friend of mine. He said he took ballet, something to strengthen the core, to get more balance, to help him go in and retrieve pucks almost like Zach Hyman and just get Austin Matthews and William Nylander the puck. So, I mean, whatever you want to consider the Maple Leafs' first line or second line, it doesn't really matter to me. This line is going to be Kasperi Kapanen with John Tavares and Mitch Marner. Kasperi Kapanen being the most interesting one because that's normally Zach Hyman's role. And the one thing about Kasperi Kapanen is that a lot of people were complaining about him being on the power play in the preseason, saying that he doesn't really belong there. He doesn't really have the tools or the hands to be a power play type guy, but he's going to get the ice time to definitely prove them wrong. And I mean, even in the playoffs, the gripe about him is that he would just kind of dart into the zone and then kind of not know what to do with the puck. But maybe playing with Mitch Marner and John Tavares, he doesn't have to worry about carrying the puck more, and he can just worry about using the tools that make him an amazing player, which is that blazing speed. Now, the third line is where things start to become more defined because that definitely is a third line. Ilya Mikheyev, Alexander Kerfoot, and Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore has really surprised me this preseason because he's always had that dart in and dart out speed, but we've seen flashes of his hands starting to keep up with his skates a little bit more, and if he can continue to do that, he's going to make a great case for himself to stick in the Maple Leafs' top 9 even when Zach Hyman comes back from injury. Ilya Mikheyev has been an interesting player this preseason in that he's been absolutely amazing. I mean, there wasn't really much to go on before he came over here, and I mean, everyone saw Mike Babcock and him take the picture outside the gas station, and everyone just thought, oh my god, here we go again with Mike Babcock's pet. But no, that is not what this player is at all. He's tenacious along the boards. He goes after the puck. If he does not have it, he's going to go get it, and that's something that the fans can really appreciate. I mean, that's why people love Zach Hyman. Now, Kerfoot's an interesting one because a lot of people seem to be down on him just because he's not Nazem Kadri, and I mean, guys, you need to temper your expectations a little bit. If he can hang in and around the 40-point mark, then that's going to be a productive season for him. He can give you some time on power play too. He can play the wing and center. So, I mean, just give the guy a little bit of time, and I think that he'll show us what he's capable of. But we're going to head on over to Cap Friendly to talk about the Maple Leafs' fourth line, Dmytro Timashov, Nick Shore, and Jason Spezza. I like Jason Spezza on the wing because he's an older player, so he doesn't have to skate too much, and maybe he'll be able to produce a little bit more offense that way. Nick Shore, I'm going to talk about when discussing the penalty kill, because there's been some evidence that I think that he should belong there on the fourth line. And Dmytro Timashov is there for his versatility and because he's no longer exempt from waivers. And what I mean by versatility is that a lot of the younger players that are coming up from the Marlies have experience playing on not just the power play but the penalty kill as well. And with Zach Hyman injured, it's always nice to have an extra option there. And the two other guys that were battling for that spot, Nick Patan and Kenny Agostino, who were placed on waivers today, don't have that skill set. And when you're playing on the fourth line and you're looking to make the team out of camp, it's those little things that really count, and that's why he's there. And the Maple Leafs' top 4 really shouldn't come as a surprise to everyone. They haven't really tried to hide it. This is what it's been since game 1 of the preseason. Morgan Rielly with Cody Ceci. A lot of people have been waiting for Cody Ceci to be bad, but he hasn't really shown that yet. I've seen him defer to Morgan Rielly a lot in the preseason, though. Hasn't really taken very many chances. And I mean, hey, If they got to hold that pair together with Scotch tape and Elmer's glue, I don't care as long as it gets the job done in the end of the day. Jake Muzzin with Tyson Barrie is probably going to be the pair that the Maple Leafs lean on a little bit more to shut things down, just because both those guys are really, really good together. And as training camp went on, it wasn't so apparent maybe to start the season, but Rasmus Sandin, oh my God, especially in the game when he played over 30 minutes, I don't know if this is going to be more than 9 games, but he's definitely going to get those 9 games to really show what he's made out of. Travis Dermott, obviously being injured here, would probably slot into that Martin Marincin spot on the bottom pairing. But I mean, Martin Marincin had a really good World Championships. He's come back and he's looked okay in the preseason. And the reason why I always thought that he was going to make the team out of training camp is because he kills penalties. If there's one thing that Martin Marincin does, he kills penalties. And that's important when reading this thread. Platinum Seat Ghost saying, hit me with the craziest stat from last NHL season. And then Active Stick going on to say, the departed Hainsey and Zaitsev were on the ice for 65% of the Maple Leafs' shorthanded time. And that's why Marincin is there, because he has experience doing that. And so does Rasmus Sandin, and so does Timothy Liljegren, who is still on the active roster, by the way. And that's something that the Marlies are doing that's so important, and that's developing well-rounded players. So it's important to understand everyone's role and where they're standing on the power play. And this is the Maple Leafs' top power play unit from last Saturday night. Morgan Rielly patrolling the blue line. Him and Mitch Marner are going to be getting the most touches in on this power play, trying to cycle the puck back and forth and create open lanes and opportunities. Andreas Johnsson is there for that high shot in the slot option. John Tavares, obviously the $11 million tap-in man that's going to be working the puck down low behind the net and battling in front. And Austin Matthews is just there to rip pucks from the top of the circle, just like Steven Stamkos does, just like Alexander Ovechkin does. He's one of the greatest goal scorers in the NHL right now, so I mean, that's his spot on the power play. Same sort of idea with the power play 2 unit, but this time William Nylander and Tyson Barrie are going to be getting in the majority of the touches, cycling the puck back and forth and trying to create open lanes. Kerfoot's going to be in the high slot area looking to clean up the garbage in the middle. Cappy's going to be on the other side of the ice looking to take that cross seam pass if it ever gets through. Korshkov's going to be in front of the net here. This was from last Saturday night's game. Korshkov obviously not being with the Leafs. Maybe this power play 2 unit sees some different personnel throughout the year. Maybe Jason Spezza spends some time on it. Maybe Ilya Mikheyev spends some time on it. Maybe even Zach Hyman when he gets back from injury. I don't know. It's going to be a work in progress. So this is why I think Nick Shore is going to be in the starting lineup over a guy like Frederic Gauthier. This is from last Saturday night when the Leafs played their last preseason game, and we're going to see here that Muzzin's going to take a penalty for tripping, and over the boards to start the PK first is Ceci, Rielly, Shore, and Marner. Then later on in the game, Rielly's going to take an interference penalty, and over the boards first to start the penalty kill is Nick Shore, Marner, Ceci, and Muzzin. As for the second unit, it's probably going to be like a rotating door of Trevor Moore, Ilya Mikheyev, Dmytro Timashov, and Frederic Gauthier at some point in the season, just depending on who's in the lineup, because I don't think Jason Spezza is going to be playing every game, so there are going to be nights when Frederic Gauthier and Nick Shore are both in the lineup together. But I think it's safe to assume that when Zach Hyman comes back from injury, he's going to assume his regular role on the penalty kill and bring some more stability there. But Babcock definitely does have more options this year than he did last year. Now up on the screen right now is a tweet from Platinum Sea Ghost or Third Period Suits, just highlighting the opening night lineup from last year. And I'm not going to project my own opinion onto you guys, but let me know in the comment section whether or not you think this year's opening night lineup is better than last year's opening night lineup. So make sure to click that like button and subscribe for more, because more is always on the way. And guys, hockey's just one more sleep away. We made it.